Nepal's Gen Z-led protests have reached a dangerous flashpoint. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli not only resigned but eventually left the capital Kathmandu in a helicopter even as protesters set his premises on fire. Apart from that, demonstrators also set the parliament building in Kathmandu on fire. The army has taken over the security situation of the country. KP Sharma Oli stepped down shortly after hundreds of demonstrators entered his office shouting anti-government slogans. Protesters breached the security perimeter, stormed the parliament premises and ignited parts of the building amid escalating violence across the capital. They also set fire to a TV station headquarters in Kathmandu as well.
I hope evacuate gore. I hope evacuate gore.
Nepal's Army Chief General Ashok Raj Sikdel has addressed the nation amidst the escalating protests, appealing to citizens to maintain peace and security.
I hope evacuate gore.
नेपाल को इतिहास देखी नहीं.
The Army appeals to all citizens to maintain peace and security. The Army has also expressed its regret over damage to public property during the demonstrations. The Nepal Army is always committed to the safety and security of Nepal and its people, and is fully dedicated to protecting lives and property in the current situation. The Army emphasizes that the protection of public assets, including historical, cultural, and national heritage, is a shared responsibility. It urges the citizens to act with restraint and preserve social harmony and national unity amid the ongoing unrest.
The army has expressed regret over the extensive damage to public property and reiterated its commitment to safeguarding lives, property, and Nepal's cultural and national heritage. The unrest has turned increasingly violent, protesters setting fire to the Federal Parliament House, Singha Darbar, party offices and leaders' homes as well. On your screens now are visuals of flames and smoke emerging after the protesters ignited parts of the parliament premises and the Supreme Court building in Kathmandu. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's resignation was formally accepted by President Ramchandra Paudel. President Paudel called on protesting youth to come to the table for talks, stressing that citizens' demands in a democracy must be addressed through dialogue and negotiation. Meanwhile, tragedy struck when former Prime Minister Chalanath Khanal's wife Rabi Lakshmi Chitrakar was killed after protesters set their residence on fire. As the situation turns tense, with the government crumbling, the big question is what next for Nepal?
पूरा परिसर कैसे चल रहा है, कोई आग बुझाने वाला भी नहीं है। बहुत बुरे हालात में नेपाल और बाहर देखिए जश्न मनाते हुए लोग यहाँ पर पूरा परिसर चल रहा है। कि मंत्रियों के आने जाने का वो रूट था वो जला दिया गया है, तोड़ गए। शीशे देख लीजिए, सीढ़ियाँ देख लीजिए, बाहर का एक बार परिसर का नजारा देखिए, बाहर लोग, वहां पर आग, और इस एंट्रेंस में जहां से मंत्री जाते थे उस एंट्रेंस को कैसे आग के हवाले किया गया है। ये अपने आप में ये किसी भी देश के इतिहास के लिए काला अध्याय ही कहा जाएगा। किस तरह से पूरी फॉल सीलिंग नीचे आ गई है, पूरा फर्नीचर जल गया है, रह रहकर धुआं पड़ रहा है। इस वक्त आप समझ लीजिए कि बहुत बुरे हालात से नेपाल गुजर रहा है और जिन पर सुरक्षा के
in complete turmoil as Violent protests have entered day 2 and show no signs of stopping, with an ex-Prime Minister's wife killed in the attacks on politicians across the board. The question remains, when and how can the situation be brought under control, even as Nepal's army takes charge of the situation? It is now responsible for the security of the country. Meanwhile, the place for Nepal's next leader is up for grabs. Rabi Lamichhane, chairperson of the Rashtriya Swatantra Party and a former TV journalist, is being touted as the possible next Prime Minister. Despite facing arrest in a cooperative savings case, Lamichhane is projected as a clean and decisive alternative to Nepal's traditional political elite. His support largely comes from the youth, students, the unemployed, and the urban middle class. He also enjoys strong backing from the Nepali diaspora and social media networks as well. His recent move to have 21 of his MPs resign is being seen as a major political power play. Apart from him, Balendra Shah, the rapper turned politician and current mayor of Kathmandu, who is another rising figure in Nepal's politics. Elected as an independent in the year 2022, the former structural engineer rose to prominence through Nepal's hip-hop scene, often voicing concerns over corruption and inequality. As a mayor, Balendra Shah has won popularity for his action-driven governance, tackling waste, traffic, and transparency issues in the capital. Seen as a fresh symbol of change, he commands strong support among Nepal's youth and Gen Z in particular. Balendra Shah recently threw his weight behind the Gen Z-led protests against corruption and the social media ban, and in fact was one of the first voices to support the Gen Z revolution. Demonstrators had been demanding both Oli's ouster and the dismissal of his government amidst mounting public anger. Reports suggest that the army chief of Nepal advised KP Sharma Oli to step down, paving the way for a political transition. A formal announcement of Nepal's new Prime Minister is expected soon, and Oli's exit comes as his government faced multiple corruption charges, which further fueled public resentment. KP Sharma Oli, bear in mind, has long positioned himself against India, leaning heavily on China to counter New Delhi's influence. In 2016, he signed a transit and transport agreement with China to reduce Nepal's dependence on India. The following year, in 2017, he formally linked Nepal to China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. In 2020, KP Sharma Oli escalated tensions by redrawing Nepal's map to include Kalapani, Lipulek and Limpiadura, and objected to India-China trade through the Lipulek Pass. He even raised the dispute directly with China's President Xi Jinping. Again in 2024, last year, Oli renewed Nepal's Memorandum of Understanding with the Belt and Road Initiative of China, securing $41 million in Chinese funds. He has repeatedly accused India of conspiring to topple his government and even alleged that India encroached on Nepal's cultural history, claiming that Sita, Ram and Ayodhya originally belonged to Nepal.
संसद भवन के परिसर के अंदर आ गए हैं और जनाक्रोश ऐसा है पूरा परिसर कैसे चल रहा है, कोई आग बुझाने वाला भी नहीं है। बहुत बुरे हालात में नेपाल और बाहर देखिए जश्न मनाते हुए लोग यहाँ पर पूरा परिसर चल रहा है।
Now, are we witnessing a